In today's video, we are going to see a very instructive game played between Magnus Carlsen and Matlakov Maxim. It was a classical event, and Carlsen was white and Matlakov was black. As you can see this position, the players reached this position on move number 52, and this is move number 53. It's white to play, and the obvious move is queen into g6, right? If the position is black to play, then it's a clear draw because black can just play bishop d3 and there will be a easy fortress. So white took queen into g6, but now the question is how to win this endgame, and this is extremely difficult part, and Magnus Carlsen proved himself as a best or as a top chess player, as he smoothly win the game against 2700 grandmaster. And we are going to discuss how to win this position, because there are some critical movements and you must know those movements to win the game. Otherwise it's not possible to win this position. Now the main problem is white king don't have any entry point to target on black's king, because black's rook is placed on d5 and it's controlling h5 to a5 square. So let's say okay, black played king c7 here. So let's say if white starts playing king g3, black can just play rook b5 and rook d5, and again rook b5. If you give check, then black will go king c8. If you give check, then king c7 check and king c8 and king b7. So black will keep the king on b6, c7, c8, b8 or d8. And if white try to attack on c6 pawn, black will just simply play king c7 or king d7 or maybe king b7, and there is no progress. So how to win this? There is a technique. So let's see. So white played queen into g6, black played king g7, and now Magnus gave this check. King b8, king g3, Magnus bring his king forward towards the center, and now Magnus played queen f8 check, king b7, queen b4 check, king c7 and king e4. Now most of the players will think that okay, this is just a normal continuation and players haven't basically white didn't get anything, right? But that's not true. If you look carefully into this position, what is white doing? So white's idea is to bring queen on b6 or d6. So let's say if black plays king c8 here, which happened in the game actually, white can simply play queen b6, and now the point is black will play king d7, which is forced move. Now white plays queen b7 check, king d6, and white will play queen c8. Now what white achieved is black can't go to 7th file, and that's a big achievement. That's the first step which white wants to get. So let's go back for few moves. Queen b4 check, king c7, king e4. Black played king c8, but what if black plays rook b5? Then white can simply play queen e7 check, and remember, as you have b6 square, also you have d6 square, and you can do the same idea. Queen d6, king b7, queen d7. King b6 is forced. If king b8, then queen into c6. So king b6 is forced, and then queen c8, and black white gets his first step. Okay, let's go back. So king c7, king e4. Black played king c8 because that's forced, otherwise white can just simply play queen e7, queen d6. Okay, now the point is, why not something like rook d1, right? But that's what white wants from black, because what white is trying to do is, white is trying to bring the king into black's territory, so into black's zone, and then white's idea is to somehow get closer to c6 pawn, and with king and queen white will force black to push the pawn 1 or 2 square, and then white's king will come from behind and take the pawn. So that's the major idea which white is trying to do. So king e4, black played king c8. Let's go towards the next step. Queen b6, king d7, queen b7, king c8, queen c8. Queen b7, king d6, queen c8, and now king c5. still what, right? Like black can just play king b5, king c5, king b6, king d6 or anything, and how white can progress. Here comes next move, which is queen b8. You have to place your queen on b8 just to control all this key square, which is d6, b5, b6 and b4. Now black is basically forced to bring a king forward or move the rook to either d file or h file. So let's say if rook d1, again white gets entry point and white will bring to king on d7 or c7 and capture the pawn. But let's say if something like rook h5, this is very critical, which we are going to see. If king c4, white can play queen b6, white can force black to play c5. And now queen a6 check or queen e6 just loses the game immediately. So queen b8, black is forced to play rook h5. Now here most of you will think that okay, now the rook and king are not well connected to each other and white can easily grab the rook, but that's not true, because black will keep the king on dark squares, or maybe b5, b6, and white don't have any square where white can place the queen and double attack on king and rook. So basically there is no benefit of trying to grab rook with a double check or something. So what's next? Now black's idea is simple. Black will just keep playing rook d5 and rook h5, right? Rook d5, rook h5, rook d5, rook h5. If black goes to d file, sorry, not on d5 but on these 4 squares, white will just play king f5, king e5 or something like king g5 maybe. But the idea is white will bring the king into black zone. So after rook h5, the very important step here is to play king f4 and now king g4. Now look at this, like black don't have any moves. Black can't play rook h5, black can't go anywhere because white will just capture the rook. So basically black is forced to move the king or move the rook to d file, but then again king f5 leads to basically white will get what white wants to get. So king g4, black plays king c4, which is obvious move because rook can't black can't move rook anywhere because of king f5. So black tried with king c4, which is good move, not bad. White plays queen b6. White accuses first one of the aims to force black to push c5. So rook d4 check, king f5 and game continued with c5. Now comes again very important move, queen a5. Why it's very important? Because now look at this. Black can play king d5, but black can't play king d3 or king b3. If black moves this rook to h4 or somewhere, white will just play queen a4 check and grab the rook. And if black moves to rook d1 or something, again queen a4 check and white can just grab the rook. But white's main idea is to bring king to e6 and d6. Here black played rook d5 check. Obviously there are some very critical variations. If you check with engine or if you play against a top level chess computer, then you might not be able to win this position, but against humans this is practically much better for white. So rook d5, king e6, rook d4, queen a4 check, king c3, queen a3, king c4, queen a5. What Magnus did is Magnus just maneuvered its king and queens, and he got almost the similar position, but this time it's a bit different. King is on e6 and not on f5. King is one square closer to this pawn, and now black played rook d3 because black is forced to play rook d3, right? If rook e4 then king d6, and now queen into c5 straight. If rook d4 then king c6. So rook d3 and now queen a4 check, king c3. Look at this beauty. Magnus played almost a perfect game, and what I can say, he's a genius player. King c4, now queen c1 check, amazing move. King b4, queen b2 check. Again if rook b3 leads to maybe this just check and just king d6, right? Or if king b5 then king d5, and this is just losing for black as white brings the king more further towards the pawn. So king c4, queen c2 check, king d4 is forced because if rook c3, then queen a4 check, king d3 and king d5, and white managed to do what white wants to do. Yeah, so basically if c4 then queen d1 check, and this is close to winning. Queen e4 is obviously winning move here. So king d4, king d6, c4, this is a next step or next target which white managed to accomplish. Now c4 is forced because what, like there is no other move, right? If king moves then queen into c5, so c4 is forced. Now queen f2 check, rook e3 and queen d2 check, and Matlakov resigned this game as king e4 leads to king c5, and white will manage to grab the pawn slowly. Oh sorry, king e4 queen d5, not king c5, and white will grab the pawn immediately. And if any other move, let's say rook d3, then queen f4 check, king c3 and king c5, white just wins the pawn by force. So yeah, this was very difficult game, and what I suggest you, if you are watching until here, then just set up this position and play a few games with Chess Engine, or you can go to any website and play, and yeah, this is how you will learn to win this kind of positions. Yeah, I thought it will be interesting to share with you guys. Obviously this video is maybe not suitable for beginners, but definitely recommended or definitely useful for 1900 2000 rated players. Obviously this endgame is difficult to win for anyone, even for GMs it's very difficult. Yeah, so I hope you have learned something from this video, and if you like this video then please do like and subscribe to my channel. That's one request I can do. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.